Annabelle 2014 is a supernatural horror film directed by John R. Leonetti and serves as a spin-off and prequel to The Conjuring 2013. It explores origins of the infamous Annabelle doll and how it became a conduit for dark forces. The story takes place in the late 1960s and follows a young couple, Mia and John Form, who unknowingly bring a demonic presence into their lives through the cursed doll. The film gradually reveals the sinister history of Annabelle and the sacrifices made to stop her evil. Plot summary. 1. The opening scene, the frightening introduction. The movie begins with a scene familiar to fans of The Conjuring. Two nurses, Debbie and Camilla, recount their terrifying experience with the Annabelle doll to paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. They explain that the doll is possessed by an evil entity and has caused strange occurrences in their apartment. This scene sets the stage for the backstory of how Annabelle became a vessel for evil. 2. A happy beginning turns dark. Mia and John Form are a young married couple expecting their first child. They live in a quiet suburban neighborhood. John, a medical student, surprises Mia with a vintage porcelain doll as part of her collection. That same night, a horrifying tragedy occurs. 3. The Night of Terror, the Higgins murder. The Forms' neighbors, the Higgins family, are brutally murdered by their estranged daughter, Annabelle Higgins, and her boyfriend, who are members of a satanic cult. The cultists break into the Forms' home, attacking Mia. Before police arrive, Annabelle Higgins slits her throat, holding the doll. A drop of her blood lands on the doll, seemingly transferring something dark into it. From this point on, strange and disturbing events begin to unfold. 4. Paranormal disturbances begin. After the traumatic night, Mia and John try to move on. However, strange events start happening. The sewing machine turns on by itself. The rocking chair moves mysteriously. Mia hears noises and sees eerie shadows. The Annabelle doll moves positions inexplicably. Mia, now heavily pregnant, begins to feel the presence of an evil force in their home. 5. The fire and the birth of their child. One night, Mia experiences a terrifying encounter with a ghostly figure and an unseen force that sets the kitchen on fire. She barely escapes, and shortly after, she gives birth to a healthy baby girl named Leah. Hoping for a fresh start, the family moves to an apartment in Pasadena. However, the terror follows them. 6. The haunting escalates. Despite throwing away the doll, it mysteriously appears in their new home. Mia experiences the Annabelle doll levitating, dark shadows lurking around the apartment, a demonic entity manifesting itself, terrifying Mia, the spirit attempting to harm Leah. At one point, Mia is dragged across the apartment by an unseen force. 7. Seeking help, meeting Evelyn. Mia befriends a woman named Evelyn, who works at a bookstore and has experienced loss in her life. Evelyn tells Mia about spirits and demonic entities, warning that an inhuman spirit may be after her soul. Mia and John also seek help from Father Perez, a priest who recognizes the evil surrounding Annabelle. He attempts to take the doll to the church for exorcism, but a demonic force attacks him outside, leaving him severely injured. 8. The ultimate sacrifice. As the hauntings intensify, the entity makes its demand clear. It wants a soul. One night, Mia finds the name Leah written on the walls, indicating that the demon wants to take her baby's life. In desperation, she considers sacrificing herself to save Leah. However, Evelyn steps in, Realizing that she can atone for her past, she blames herself for her daughter's death. She takes the Annabelle doll and jumps out of the apartment window, sacrificing herself. With this, the demon's grip weakens and the haunting stops. 9. The final twist, Annabelle's fate. After the events, John and Mia no longer feel the presence of the demon. The Annabelle doll disappears from their home and is later found in a second-hand shop. In the final scene, the doll is purchased by a mother for her daughter, Debbie, one of the nurses from the film's opening scene. This perfectly ties back to The Conjuring, where Ed and Lorraine Warren take possession of the doll, locking it in their famous artifact room. Conclusion and connection to the Conjuring universe. Annabelle serves as a prequel to The Conjuring, revealing the origins of the demonic doll. The movie highlights themes of loss, sacrifice, and the dangers of demonic manipulation. Though Annabelle Higgins and her cult initially invited the demonic force, it ultimately used the doll as a conduit to seek new victims, spreading its evil to different owners over time. The movie ends ominously, reinforcing that Annabelle's terror is far from over.